and we're so glad you're joining us today. Do we have anybody that is here for the first time? Or second time, maybe? Okay, a couple of people. Welcome, welcome. We're so delighted to have you here. And we have a welcome packet. It's heading your way right now. I saw Kay running around there. If you're on Zoom and you're new and you would like, please put your name and an email address in the chat, and somebody will get in touch with you with a welcome packet. That'll give you a little more information about who we are and our purpose for being here. We invite you to stay afterwards. We're going to have some fellowship time. It's going to be a little special fellowship because we got another little thing going on. But we'd be delighted to get to know you a little better. And we're here to answer any questions that you have about us. So welcome. Some announcements about some exciting things we have going on. We have, right after this service, a very fun silent auction and book sale. We have, you may not know this, but we've had things in storage for quite a while as our church has been making transitions over the last few years. We have cleaned out that space, which feels really good. Have you ever gone into a space that's been just sitting there and cleaned it all out? That's where the circulation, we're getting the energy moving. So there are lots of things we had in there that we don't really need right now and that we want to pass on and put back into circulation again. So come and check out our book table. Lots of great Unity books there. They're all based on a donation and a love offering. So whatever you want to take, give whatever you feel you can. Then there's a silent auction. There's a few items that we're going to be auctioning off. If you don't know, a silent auction is there's a piece of paper for each item, and you sign there's a starting bid. You sign your name and put if you want a higher bid, you put your higher bid on the piece of paper. People will be coming through. If they want to raise that bid, they'll put their name and raise that bid. So keep going back and looking to see. Our wonderful board president, Jim Fuller, is going to be available out in the lobby to help you with that. So if you have any questions, see him. You can see Reverend Jim and myself, or see the three of us. We're the ones kind of navigating that event. So please join us after that. Also, there's going to be some coffee, I'm sure, and some cookies. And what? Fun. It's a fundraiser, right? So this is our first fundraiser. We're going to be having more as we continue on to, again, keep things in circulation, keep that flow of abundance going. So please join us. It's going to be fun. Next, we have our new member workshop series is beginning to wrap up. We had our second affirmative prayer class. It was an incredible experience to be with all of you who attended. And we will probably continue to do those as we move on. Our last class is our new member class. It's for Saturday, August 19th. Those who've been attending and want to become new members, this is the last required class. We're going to look at the history of Unity, where Unity's been, where is it going, how do we fit within the broader Unity worldwide ministries structure, and embrace what it means to become a member here. So we're looking forward to seeing everyone there. Even if you are a member, you're welcome to come if you just want to refresh your memory, or maybe you've never had a Unity history class before. It's really fun to know that information. Finally, theater ministry. We are going to wrap up our summer series. August is the last month we're going to do of our summer series with Dr. Adrian. You get a special treat today because she is putting on the July workshop. We had 3 people attending, and they are going to put on another skit for you, and I am looking forward to it. So it's going to be a special treat for us today. And Potluck Sunday. Potluck Sunday is next week. We don't want to forget about that. So please join us. Bring a meal. Some food, some drinks, whatever you can. If you don't have anything or you forget, don't worry. We always have plenty of food. So we want everybody to join. It's really fun and a great time to engage with your spiritual community and get to know each other better. So we look forward to seeing you there. And now I would like to open us in prayer. So I invite you to sit back. Take a moment to gently close your eyes if that's comfortable and turn within. And for a moment, just put your attention on your heart center. As we move into this sacred time of prayer. Living, loving Spirit, we turn within to claim the life and presence of your holiness within us. To feel the power and presence of love that is the very essence of God. Not only living within our hearts, but radiating out to each and every person we meet. That presence of love fills this space. For those who need healing, who are experiencing any discomfort or dis-ease or disharmony, love, this power of love, can renew and refresh and bring alive that which has called for help. And we spread this love out even further, out beyond the walls of this church, into this neighborhood, into this larger community, and indeed out into our global community. For we are one. And when any form of love is expressed, it is felt throughout the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this presence. And so it is. Amen. Let's join together, if you will, with me and speak our unity prayer of oneness. There is one presence and one power in my life and the universe, God the good, omnipotence. We claim and affirm this presence in our lives as love. If you or a loved one has need of prayer, please reach out to us. We are here for you. There is also links and phone numbers on our website to contact Silent Unity, which is a prayer service that's available for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're going to take a moment now in silence for you to speak out loud or in your own mind, in your own mind, a name or a situation that you want to lift in prayer now. So I open this sacred space to have those prayers heard. With a slow exhale out, as we rest in the knowledge that these prayers have been answered and Spirit is working in and through each and every situation to bring about the best outcome. And we are so grateful. And so it is. Amen. And now I'd like to invite up Barbara, who is going to read our daily word for us.
So today's daily word is wonder. And I just want to share real quickly the wonder of nature that I experienced this week. In my yard was a doe and a fawn. A bunny, huge bunny with a big white tail. A yellow butterfly flew past me. And since my doggy's no longer with me, everybody wants to come really close to the sliding doors where I meditate, and I have a cutest pair of squirrels that I watch them go under where was some shade and a holly tree, and one came nose to nose with the other, and then started cleaning off fleas off the other one, just watching the wonder of the yard and nature and these amazing critters that are coming close. It's like, wow. So today's daily word. I feel inspired watching a young child discovering new things, eyes wide with awe and wonder. Even the smallest experiences, feeling the tickle of a butterfly on the skin or blowing the seeds of a dandelion, are a marvel and a joy. I think of this when disappointing life experiences may chip away at my sense of awe and appreciation. Today, I let go of disillusionment and open my heart and my eyes to once again live in wonder. As I view life anew, I renew my belief in the goodness of life and of all people. I open myself to the unexpected treasures happening all around me each day. Wonder is a precious gift, one I use to appreciate the marvels unfolding before me. And from the Bible, they were filled with wonder and amazement at what had happened to him.
And it is my pleasure. Where is Dr. Adrian? Dr. Adrian. It is my pleasure to introduce the Unity of Charlotte Players.
Our play today is Love and Grace and Mind, very personal trainers. And you see we have three wonderful actors, members of this congregation, and the characters are Mind and Grace and Love. And they are metaphorical characters. So they are representative of the ideas and the principles we want to convey today. So we hope you enjoy it. The cast has worked very, very hard. The principles we're covering today are 2 and 3. And 2 tells us that all people are good. That's boiling it all the way down because we're made in the image of God. And 3, boiling it all down, says that our thoughts create our experiences as we co-create with the divine mind. So those are the 2 principles that we hope you see reflected in this little skit today. And I want to thank, and the cast wants to thank, Reverend Lisa and Reverend Jim. They work so hard for us and support us in this ministry. If without them, there wouldn't be a theater ministry. So we're very grateful. And we want to thank Alan Batten, our tech whiz, for helping us with our rehearsals and with the videos. And I want to thank Will today, who helped me set up and spike everything, which means we put tape on the floor. That's what a spike means, so we know where we are. Okay, so without further ado, just going to move this a little bit, and you'll know why in a moment. And I welcome you to Love and Grace and Mind. When I look in the mirror, I don't love everything I see. Here I am, big old chip on cheeks. Can't run a marathon, but I can sometimes take it deep. I'm like a large pizza with extra cheese and extra meat. But I still go to the gym every day. When I get home, the sweets are gone, my head. I got a dance body. Hey, are you folks lost?
Well, sort of, I guess. We just got hired as personal trainers, and the guy who hired us told us to come in here and find mine.
But honestly, we weren't quite sure what he meant. Is mind some sort of yoga pose?
Not quite.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mind.
Oh, Mind. That's an unusual name.
Well, people say it fits me. I have a very active imagination.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am Love, and this is Grace.
Nice. Do your names fit you?
So we're told.
Cool. Well, it looks like you'll be with me today, and I'll teach you the ropes. The first thing you gotta know is you gotta keep these slackers going. Hey, Mr. Flabby Arms, get back on that bench. Those biceps need at least 50 more reps. Go on, get back on the bench. And you, friend over there, yeah, you've been skipping leg day, haven't you? I want to see 20 squats. I want to see 20 squats. Get back on that bench.
Wow, I'm not sure we can yell like that. And they don't look like slackers to me. They're good souls, just like us.
Well, if you guys want to work here, you have to give it a try.
Well, okay. You, sir, with the cookies and the bottle water holder. Is your treadmill working?
Oh, wait, I see it's moving a little. Oh, yes, good walking, great job. Keep up the good work. But just try not to get crumbs on the machine.
What?
Thanks.
What was that?
We were trying to be just encouraging. Love and I will work well together.
We believe everyone should be respected. Each of us is a spiritual being, created in the image of God. And therefore, all people are inherently good.
Yes, the Christ mind lives within each of us. Don't you know that mind?
Well, nobody will get healthy that way. You need to tell people what they need to know.
Yeah, these sound a little harsh.
Well, letting people eat cookies on the treadmill is way too soft. Case in point. Case in point. Look at that woman. Look at her. She came in here today showing me baby pictures and said she was here trying to lose some baby weight. And she has tried to sneak off that mat 3 times in the last 20 minutes. And look, she's just lying there again.
Hey, stop. Just look at her for a moment, will you? Really look at her.
She's asleep.
Asleep. Right there on the gym mat. She's exhausted. Mine. Can you see that?
I say we wake her up and make her do 20 more sit-ups. She needs to do the work.
I say we wait until she wakes up, and then we look at baby pictures with her at the coffee shop. She needs some rest.
You're too soft.
And you're too harsh.
All right. All right, maybe I didn't really see the Christ in her. Okay, 10 sit-ups.
5. And we'll do them with her.
And encourage her the whole way.
Okay, but I'll do the sit-ups and you two do the encouraging.
Deal. Mind, This woman is taking steps to co-create her experiences. She's a mom, and she wants to be at her best for her baby.
Yes, if we encourage her, the three of us working together to support her, her thoughts will soon create her reality to be a better mom and a better self.
Right. All of creation begins with thought. What we think creates our experiences. Mind, your Christ consciousness within could be very helpful to others. And then your name would surely fit.
Oh, I guess I get it. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. Okay? When I align myself with the Christ within, my thinking changes, therefore my life can change. And I can help others to do the same. I can become who I truly am.
Yeah!
The Christ mind! The Christ mind! Yeah, wow!
Yeah, wow. So you see, Mind, if the three of us work together, love, grace, and mind, we can help others and ourselves live a blessed and joyful life.
And then we'll really be very personal trainers.
All with God's help and blessings.
Yes.
Can we still look at baby pictures over a latte?
First, we need to tell Cookie Guy to eat his veggies.
How about oatmeal raisin cookies?
You know, I have a feeling that the three of us are going to make a really good team.
Grace, mind, and love. Very personal trainers.
I think you mean mind, grace, and love. Very personal trainers.
I don't know. Love, grace, and mind just has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, one of those cheap rings that turns your fingers green.
No matter how we say it, we should never be separated.
And so it is. I think we all need a latte.
Yep, and let's not forget the cookies.
That was awesome. That was awesome. If you did you notice their little lanyards had little tennis shoes on them? Oh God, that was so cute. That was so cute. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that latte and stack of cookies myself. So that sounds awesome. So we're going to follow that up with a message on love and grace today. We're going to try and fit that right into our topic here today. My name is Reverend Jim Ernstsen, and so glad to be here. I do want to share with you. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. I had a visit to the doctor, and I'm cleared. My wrist is healed. I am cleared by the orthopedic doctor to do anything that I wish. So, anybody up for some skateboarding this afternoon? You are, Reverend. Actually, I want to tell a story, and I don't think I'm going to leave a few names out of this because I didn't get their permission ahead of time. But somebody asked me yesterday if this broken wrist thing was contagious or not, and I kind of cringed a little bit, and I thought it was, well, I should have answered. You know, I can always think of the answer after the fact, right? So after the fact, I thought, well, maybe I could have answered. Well, Yeah, maybe it is a little bit, but the vaccine for that is 3 hugs. So we're all going to do 3 hugs today, and then nobody else will break the wrist. So join me in that today. Like I said, love and grace. So I'd like you to imagine just for a second. Use some of that imagination that we talk about. If you were arrested and charged with kindness and love and grace, if you were arrested and charged with kindness, love, and grace, would there be enough evidence to convict you? Would there be enough evidence that convicts you in a court of law? Think about that in our daily lives. Could we gather enough evidence to prove that we live in that quality of love? I thought about that and it's like, wow, I'd have to maybe step up my game a little bit on that. But we're going to talk about love from the perspective of the 12 powers here today, and how that overlaps, how that intersects with grace as well. Now, if you recall, the 12 powers is a concept developed by Charles Fillmore, the co-founder, along with his wife Myrtle, of the Unity movement. In the 1930s, he spoke and wrote to that concept, and it was later compiled into a book, The 12 Powers of Man, which we now call the 12 Powers of Humankind, or maybe even just the 12 Powers is what we talk about. These 12 qualities, we can also call them, are the fullness of our divinity when they're balanced together. So these are 12 things, 12 qualities, 12 powers that when they're balanced together, display our Christ nature. Divinity, Christ nature as well. Now we develop these 12 powers in balance with each other. Here's an example of overbalance and underbalance. Think of these two qualities. Think of these two powers. If you had an underdeveloped imagination, an overdeveloped imagination, and an underdeveloped sense of zeal or enthusiasm, what would that give you? Inertia. My brother would call it, you're a sleepyhead, maybe. Or you're a daydreamer, right? Way too much imagination, too little get up and go. We want that balance. We want the imagination and the zeal to where we're open to that. And then we get up and take a step into that as well. So all 12 of these work the same way in amongst themselves as well. All 12 of those powers are faith, strength, judgment, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, release, life, and we're going to talk about love today. We're going to talk about love and grace. Love is that ability to know oneness, is what we're going to talk about, as well as that ability to desire good for everyone in our lives, for ourselves and everyone else. Those are the definitions of love that we know of. Grace, on the other hand, is that ideal of love without any thought of exchange. That is grace. Giving love, knowing love, without any thought of exchange or give and take. We've got a denial and an affirmation today. Let's go ahead to the next slide. Our denial today. So denials and affirmations are used within Unity. And for me, I like to deny what is no longer has power in my life. And I do that usually once. And then I use affirmations multiple times as well. So that denial is that there is no lack of love in my life. There is no sense of separation. I'm going to ask you to join me in the affirmation today. So let me say it out loud, and then I'm going to ask you to repeat it. I experience oneness with all there is. Together. I experience oneness with all there is. One more time. I experience oneness with all there is. And we're gonna explore a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit about why we're saying all there is instead of just my neighbor or other people as well. So stick with me here. Love is the ability to know oneness with all things. So let's get this out of the way. You may be thinking of love. Some of the definitions of, you got to admit, the English language sometimes pulls up short for us in terms of how we understand each other. Here's one of those. Love has how many different variations, understandings, definitions? This is one of those. We're talking about love in terms of others and of oneness, but some people will think of love as an emotion, a mood that I'm feeling, that warm and fuzzy, that attraction to somebody else maybe. That is part of English, but that's not what we're talking about here today. Those are other things. Instead, love for us is another word for God. That's part of those 12 powers. God is love, balanced with all the other 11, but God is love. God is love. Knowing that oneness with all is part of that as well. So what do we mean about that when we talk about oneness with all? It's in our affirmation with all there is. When we think about with all, it's not just those people that we like, those people that we connect with. That's not simply what we're talking about for love. It encompasses more than that, doesn't it? It's not just that small group of people that we love. It's also our friends. It's also, the Bible tells us, it's also our enemies. It's also ourselves. That oneness applies to that group as well. But it's not just humans either. It's not just humans that qualify for this quality of love. It's also the birds and the fish and the animals in our world that qualify for this oneness that we're talking about as well. And I would even argue it's not just the humans, it's not just the animals as well, but it's every living thing in this world. So it's the trees, it's the flowers, it's the mushrooms. Oh, ask me out there. I've got a good dad joke about mushrooms out there, but I'm not gonna tell you right now. And it's not just the living things within our world, the humans, the animals, the living plants. It's everything that we have within this world. It's the sun, or this universe, I should say, because it's the sun. It's the moon. It's the space between those things. It's even the silence that we experience is part of that oneness that we enjoy in that quality of love. Oneness with all things, with all there is. Oneness with all things. That is love. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes just for a minute as we experience a little bit of what I'm calling this oneness, this love. So go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And take just a moment to picture somebody in your mind, in your mind's eye, someone that you love, someone that you're very close to, this is a loved one, a partner, a child, maybe it's your parents, and just see them for a moment and notice the feeling that you have with this. How does it make you feel? What happens in that heart space at this point when you think of that loved one? Maybe you feel that swelling of joy. Maybe there is that warm and fuzzy. Maybe that you feel that comfort with that image. I'm going to ask you to remember that feeling as you open your eyes and come back into the room. Remember how that felt for just the next few minutes. I'm going to bring this back up again. Can we get to that place? Can we get to this feeling that we're feeling and experiencing right now with everyone we meet, not just that loved one? Can we get to this same level of warmth and joy and fuzzy that we may have felt in our heart? That's our goal. That's where we want to be. That's oneness. That is the experience of oneness right there. If you can feel that with a stranger, if you can feel that for a stream that you're sitting next to, if you can feel that for the moose that you see at the zoo, I don't know, if it's a pathway, if it's a hike you're taking, that's what you want to feel and experience in terms of love and oneness. That's where we want to be. Again, our affirmation, I experience oneness with all there is. And how do we tie grace in with that? Grace is the ideal that love is there without any exchange. That we can extend that love out to somebody else, not expecting that they're going to even return it or even appreciate it. That's grace. And honestly, I want to work out with grace and love. That's where, if I'm working out in the gym, I want to work out with those two. We talked about overbalance and underbalance. If we're talking about love in those two cases, that underbalanced love, how does that show up? If we didn't have enough of that oneness within our lives, shout it out. How would that look and feel? Anybody? Loneliness? Okay. Harsh, did I hear? Okay, sure. Sadness. What's that? Controlling, that's interesting. Controlling. What I wrote down when I thought of that underbalance of that love, cold-hearted, lonely, was that over here? Lonely, or you are a loner. If you have too much of that in your life, those people, all those people in our world. It's our ability to know deep down the oneness with all of creation, even the moose, the oneness with all of creation. It's also the harmonizing and attractive force in the universe that Charles Fillmore talks about as well. So that intersection of love and grace, I sat with this, I did research. This is actually a meme out there on Facebook, so I couldn't attribute it to any one person, so it's kind of but I'd like to just read it. The intersection of love and grace. So there are good things out on Facebook, I gotta tell you. It's not all, anyway, there are good things out there on Facebook. The intersection of love and grace is where humanity rediscovers the power to heal wounds, nurture relationships, and experience profound spiritual growth. Whoa. Right? I got a thumbs up from the back of the room, too. Whoa. Let me read it again. the intersection of love and grace, is where humanity rediscovers the power to heal wounds, nurture relationships, and experience profound spiritual growth. I'm all in. I want that. That's what I'm focused on next week. Know that I love you. I bless you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I see the Christ in you. Namaste.
And now we move into the offertory part of our service. We know that as we give, so do we receive, and it's through your generous giving that Unity of Charlotte continues to be a light in this community. You will see behind me, I hope, yes, our consistent giving slide. We have a new option now to make it as easy as ever to become a consistent giver and to continue to support Unity of Charlotte, and that is through PayPal. So if you have PayPal, know that you can use that now to send us a gift. So please join me as we say our offertory blessing together. Joyously, I give this gift, knowing that divine presence blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.